Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
Delaware Street does not look dramatic at first glance. No skyline centerpiece, no monuments in the middle of the road. But this street is structural. It is part of the machinery that built Kansas City. In the late 19th and early 20th century, these blocks formed part of the city's wholesale spine. Kansas City sat perfectly positioned between Chicago and Denver, between river routes and rail expansion. Goods moved through here in volume. Dry goods, garments, hardware, agricultural tools, fabrics, packaging supplies. This was distribution territory. Look at the buildings. They are narrow but tall, thick brick walls, large upper floor windows, freight doors at street level. These were not designed for browsing shoppers. They were designed for stacked inventory and rapid transfer. Freight elevators once carried crates upwards. Wagons backed in, later trucks replaced them. The architecture is practical, almost blunt. Kansas City once ranked amongst the largest wholesale distribution centers in the central United States. Before interstate highways existed, merchants across the plains depended on supply networks that ran through these streets. Delaware Street was not decorative frontage, it was thoroughput. Upper floors stored inventory. Offices operated above loading docks. Clerks tracked shipments bound for towns pushing westward. This corridor connected directly to rail lines and the Missouri River just north of here. River to rail to street, all within a few blocks. But like many industrial districts across America, the rhythm changed in the mid-20th century. Rail dominance declined. Trucking shifted logistics outward. Suburban growth pulled away retail from downtown areas. By the 1970s and 1980s, many warehouses here sat underused. Some buildings emptied. Others survived on reduced activity. But this is where the second chapter begins. What saved Delaware Street was not nostalgia, it was over-engineering. These buildings were built to carry weight, literally tons of goods, heavy timber beams, thick masonry, durable foundations. That structural strength made them perfect for reinvention. Artists and small businesses were amongst the first to move into old warehouse spaces. Large windows meant light. Open floor plates meant flexibility. Loft conversions followed. Buildings like the 510 Delaware lofts transformed storage areas into residential units. What once held bolts of fabric now holds living rooms and kitchens. Ground floors adapted next. Former loading docks became restaurant entrances. Warehouse bays turned into boutiques, coffee shops, and service businesses. Instead of freight wagons lining the curb, you now see pedestrians moving between the storefronts. What makes this stretch compelling is that you can still read the original function in the design. The proportions remain industrial. The brick has not been replaced with glass curtain walls. Reinvention here did not erase the past, it built on it. But there is also something strategic about its survival. Interstate 70 runs just south of here, slicing through downtown. In many cities, highways erased entire warehouse districts. Here, the river market sat close enough to feel pressure, but not close enough to be fully demolished. That partial isolation may have unintentionally protected it from total redevelopment. Today, Delaware Street operates on mixed layers. Residential lofts above, active street-level businesses below. Historic brick as backdrop. Modern urban life flows through a 19th century grid. This is not a theme park restoration. It is an adaptive reuse that works because the bones were strong enough to carry another century. Delaware Street may not shout for attention, but it tells a clear story. Kansas City was built on movement and supply. When the supply chains shifted, the structures remained. And instead of collapsing, they evolved. This is what you're walking through right now, not just a street, but a repurposed engine of commerce, still functioning, just in a different form.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.